Hello everybody and welcome back to another Farming Simulator 22 how-to video. Today we're going to talk about horses and everything that I've been able to figure out about horses so far since the release of this game. Now, just as a caveat, this video is being made with version 1.1.1.0. If the game has been updated since the production of this video and by the time that you are watching this video, some aspects of this video may not be 100% accurate to the current version of the game. That is because there are a few issues with the horses that I feel may be bugs, or I feel they're issues, and therefore I think they're bugs. But I'm just going to go ahead and put this video out there because it's just best that the information be out there now than to sit around and wait possibly for quite a good little bit of time for these particular bugs to be either validated or worked out. So we've got here 3 pens. There are 3 base game horse enclosures. I went ahead and placed all 3 of those down. They're going to be found in the build mode. Shift P on PC to get to the build mode. We're going to go to animals and then horses. We've got the horse pasture, total of 5 horses. Oats, sorghum, hay, and water are the inputs for the exterior horse pasture. Then we move to the horse barn. 8 horses are held in here. They take oat, sorghum, and hay. That is because the animal pens, base game animal pens that are buildings, provide water automatically to the particular animals. They hold 8 horses. There you can see that. You can easily just rotate that 360 degrees. Then we have the large horse barn. They hold 14 horses and again have the same food inputs of sorghum, oats, or hay, and $125,000. Once again, it freely rotates just like that. And something else I don't think I've really touched in other areas, but you can see how the fences will conform to the land if you have uneven land. It's really cool. Now, the only thing you do need to have level is the building itself, but the fences will kind of conform to the land as needed. For the outside area, we have our food dump, our water dump, and typically the outside area, water areas, have 2 chambers, whereas the food has 3. So that is one way to quickly identify them if you have the markers off. The delivery point for our horses are right here. I've went ahead and taken liberty of just buying the horses here. If you want to pick up the horses, then you would do that from the animal area, which is located up here. So you would do that from this area, and you would use one of the horse transport trailers. We have the small Big Master Western. Will hold 2 horses at a time. And then we have the Belvedere 5th wheel trailer that you can also use. It will hold 2 horses at a time. And then we have the Silver Star, which does not appear to hold horses. So these are only 2 base game options for transporting horses. Now, you'll notice that this one does have a 5th wheel attachment. I've tested this out. If you take one of the base game trucks, the base game pickup trucks, this one, you'll see there isn't a configuration option here to put a 5th wheel on it. Or this one, same thing. If you back this up, you open the tailgate, back it up to the 5th wheel trailer, you will see that when you get the connect prompt, it will then spawn a 5th wheel in the back. So take a look at our horse options. We have several horse options here. The gray, pinto, palomito, chestnut, bay, black, seal brown, and dun. All of them cost $500 to buy. They're all also newborn. I believe the term is foals, 0 months of age. And the first point that we're going to come to that I think is maybe a bug. They have reproduction and it says 10 months. I have in my testing fast forwarded 13 months forward in time. I've yet to see a horse indicate any sort of reproduction level. We've seen in other how-to videos on animals, there's a reproduction bar, and that reproduction bar will show you a percent that they are basically through their reproduction cycle. Horses, I've gone 13 months out. I haven't seen it. I don't know what the real life age is that you breed horses at. I don't know if we have to go 2 years out before reproduction starts. It would be nice to have that information here on the screen, but we don't because we're buying all zero aged horses. These are all brand new horses. They are not going to be pretty much anywhere as close, I think, to reproducing anytime soon, at least not 13 months out from this point. You can double click on one, of course, get the up and down trigger to buy multiples, should you so wish. You can also go here and rename your horses. We go to the escape menu, we go to our horse area, we select a horse, we can hit rename, and then we can call it whatever we want. Just like that. There it goes, finally took. While we're here on this screen, we see horses health, 0 to 12, or 0 to 100%. Cleanliness, 0 to 100%. Fitness, 0 to 100%. Daily riding, that's right. Riding horses are a thing in FS22. They are a lot shorter duration that you need to ride a horse as opposed to FS19 if you're coming from FS19, but you still do have a daily horse riding requirement. We're looking at the outside pen, so we do see water as a needed food or source. Then we have base food of oats and sorghum to provide 60% effectiveness, and hay, which will provide 40% effectiveness. And then we have a total bar. That is another possible bug, or if it's a feature I do not like at all. And we're going to talk about that when we get around to feeding the horses. Let's take a look at the medium-sized pen, the horse barn. So we have our horse trigger here. Open the doors, and then we have our food dump and our straw dump, because these horses have whatever you call these things, and they take straw. And we'll run over here to the large barn. So we have our buy point for our horses. Straw will appear here, but the dump station for straw is located right here, as well as the food trough. And then this building actually includes a nice little shed here that you can use to store bales. You can use to store other stuff related to your horses. So this is a really cool kind of multi-purpose building. I guess maybe those are called stalls, possibly. Just really cool, top-notch buildings here. So let's talk about what you need to keep horses. You're going to need a small tractor, because the big tractor that we've been demonstrating with all along in our how-to video series, it's too big to get into the middle horse barn. So you're going to need a small tractor. You're going to need to buy horse food or have horse food. You can buy pallets of horse food. It's really just oats. Or you can buy big bags of oats in the shop. Go to P. We're going to go to Objects, Big Bag Pallets. Here is your oats. 1,000 liters for $1,400. Or you can go to Big Bags and get $1,300 for 1,000 liters. So it is cheaper to buy a big bag of oats than to buy a pallet of oats. Straw, if you're going to have one with a building. Hay, either in the form of bales or loose. Oats and sorghum, if you're not going to use bagged oats. And water, if you're going to have an outside pen. So let's go ahead and get these guys some water. Pulling up. Give him a little bit of water. There we go. All right, let's demonstrate the feeding of oats with a big bag pallet over here at the outside pen. And you see it flows out of the bottom, shows filling the trough here. And then when the bag is gone, obviously it is empty. Now to feed a big bag, you're going to need a big bag holder, or you could use a fork. Let me demonstrate the fork usage. And then I'll show you where you can buy the big bag in the shop. But if you wanted to, you could just come in here with a fork, come in the hoop, pick it up, and then drive it around just like that. Or you would use this big bag holder, which some may prefer because it actually clicks in and the two become one, if you will. So you see we have attach, we can hit Q, and then it attaches, and now we can hold our big bag. You would find that in the shop. We're going to go to front loader tools, and then we have the big bag lifter for single or double. So that's where that is. And let's just, for convenience sake, we'll feed this in the horse barn here. See, it's now just dumping on the ground. Really, it's putting oats into there. Okay, you see that down there? And now I'm going to demonstrate feeding of bale hay and the use of bale straw. That's right, we can use bales in FS22 animal areas. At least with respect to the horses we can. Grab a bale of straw. See, this bale of straw has 9,000 liters of capacity. We're going to just place it right here in front of the large horse barn. Back out. And boom, straw appears. Now it has a capacity of 3,400 liters. We're going to do the same in this barn. For that, let's swing out here. You can see the horse stables. So I guess they're called stables. They are void of straw. Now if we drop our bale back out, they now have straw in them. Oh, this camera. I hate this camera. They now have straw in them. And the bale has a total of 200 liters remaining. So you can use loose straw in a trailer. You can use a straw blower if you want, or you can use a bale, as we have demonstrated there. Now, let's talk about feeding of our horses a little bit more, because this caught me off guard, and I think it's a bug. If it's a feature, in my opinion, it's a undesirable feature. So let's take a look here. So in our large barn, we have no food. In our horse barn, we have a little bit of base food. And then in our horse pasture, we have a little bit of base food, right? So let's put our hay in. You see it slowly goes away, and now it's gone. So we have 8,000 liters of hay. Let's take this other hay bale and let's put it over in the open pasture. Okay, the open pasture should require the least amount of food, or it should take the least amount of food. Okay, there we go. So we have 2,000 liters of hay left. Let's take a look. Hay is at 6,000 liters. Base food is at 1,000 liters. You add those up and you get 7,000 liters, and it is full. We cannot add any more food to the horse pasture. It is done. We're going to come over here and try to add more oats. To demonstrate this, it's not going to take it. But you can see base food is very low compared to our hay. Our hay isn't full either, but our total is full. We cannot, on an animal pen, including cows and pigs, or horses, cows and pigs, and horses, they all require multiple food sources. We cannot, if an animal requires multiple food sources, we cannot fill any one food source to 100% and then add another food source to it. It will not take. Now, I don't like that idea because it makes it rather difficult when you're feeding these animals to know how to maintain the right percentage. Okay? Yeah, I should have grabbed the bigger tractor. I understand. Because unlike the TMR mixer, where you can see up there in the F1 menu your ratios, you can't see your feed ratios other than looking at the animal screen. Ideally, you would want to put 60% oats in and 40% hay. You see, we just put a little shot of oats to top it off. 1,003, 5,996. Let's rounding errors. Okay, we're at 7,000. Let's go add our oats to our horse barn here. Let's back in because this trailer in the roof. That's something to pay attention to is the size of certain openings, and if your trailer dumps or has a walking floor. So now that we have dumped all of those oats in here, we will not be able to put any more hay in until the oats are eaten down because our food is at 100%. Now, since we do have both food items listed here and here, well, not here, here and here, then our animals will have 100% effectiveness. But I would like to be able to fill both of these to 100%. And if I feed base food to 100%, this total should go no higher than 60%. If I feed hay to 100%, it should go no higher than 40% until I add the base food. That's what I would like to see. Because as it exists now, you've got to be real careful with how you are feeding your animals that take multiple food sources. Because these will eat both food sources simultaneously. They are what we call parallel eaters. They will eat from both food sources at the same time. But once you fill that total food to 100%, you will not be able to add any more food of any type until the horses eat down some of their food. And once they have eaten down some of that food, then they will be able to have more food added to them, but only until that level is at 100%. Now, something else that I found in my testing. If a horse goes inside this area, you cannot ride it out. It is stuck inside of there until it walks out on its own. I was hoping one of these guys would walk in there. Come on, go on. Go on. Go on. I want to demonstrate. Thank you very, very much. See, we can walk in here. He can walk in there on his own, but we cannot leave if we are riding this guy. We're going to run into a wall. Let's try to go out the other way. Okay. Well, you're like, well, dummy, you need to go out the door. Oh, he went back in there. Trust me, the door won't work either. Okay? If you have a horse inside of here and you try to ride it, you are not going to be able to get him out. The only way you can ride a horse out of the pen is if he's in this area. Okay? Just a little bit of advice there. Now, daily riding. You need to hop on your horse. E. You'll get a prompt. It says, ride Joran. Yes. W, A, S, and D is how we move our horses. Space to jump. Jumping is a little odd of an animation, if you ask me. I mean, it looks like we are... they are... the flying horses. Or flying... reindeer. So you'll see the percent riding at 15%. And you see it's ticking up. 16%. 17%. 18%. Now let me go into a little faster walk. Now we're going 20, 21, 22, 23. It's going up faster. Let's go up faster again. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. So the faster you run, the faster your horse riding will go. So it's about 100 seconds. Just under 2 minutes. If you run. If you walk, it's slower. It's kind of interesting. So now that we're at 50%, we can double back. And now we should be at 100% by the time we get back to our horse area. We escape. You can see that our horse is no longer in the pasture. It's no longer being registered. I mean, if we wanted to, we could drop this horse off in another building. And it would then register for that pasture. $85. So overall, riding horses is maybe a little bit less of a pain as it was in FS19, where you had to do it for 5 minutes a horse. If you had a lot of horses, then that took a fair bit of daily time. There we go. We'll hop off our horse. They are back. Now we have to brush our horse. Because if we take a look, Joran's daily riding requirement is 100%. His health is 0. His cleanliness is 0. Compare that to Ulysses, whose cleanliness is 100%. So to clean our horse, we just walk up to it. We get a little brush icon on our cursor, and we click. 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 So we click like 3 or 4 times. Now we are 100% cleanliness, 100% daily riding. We're done for that particular horse. If we wanted to, we could go through and ride all of these other horses. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and advance time to tomorrow. And we'll see where our horses lay. The new day, so let's go ahead and take a look at our horse's health. So you can see Joran is sitting at 90% cleanliness. Fitness is 25%. Everybody else is sitting at 0% with their cleanliness at 90 or thereabouts. Now, you'll also see that Joran is $184 in value. Everybody else is $158 in value. And that is because every day that you ride your horse or horses, their value will increase a little bit. Not a lot, a little bit. I've played this testing horses out over a year, 13 months to be exact. And the horse I rode, their value increased to a little over $2,000. The values of the other horses did not really increase that much, if at all, because quite honestly, I didn't pay that much attention to those horses. I was trying to figure some other things out. But I would say that horses are not the massive money maker that they were in FS19 base game. Anyone that played FS19 base game will remember, possibly if they did horses, that after 10 days of riding your horse each day, they would have a value of $50,000. You would buy them for $5,000 and you could turn them around and sell them 10 days later for $50,000 if you rode them every day, kept them clean, and fed them. In FS22, that is not the case. I have ridden out 13 days, through a whole year and a month, extra month. I've ridden a horse. Their values increased just to about $2,000. Now, there is this reproduction aspect to consider and try to figure out. Again, now that we've ridden our horse, we walk up to it, click it a few times, get it nice and clean. And if you take a look here at the animal info in the lower right, it says animal name Joran, type gray. He's 1 month old, has 0% health, okay, 0% reproduction, 100% riding, 25% fitness, and 100% cleanliness. We look over here at our other horse. You'll see the same stats apply with respect to age. Health is 0, reproduction 0. Did you stop moving? Thank you. Riding is 0, fitness is... I told you to stop. All right, anyway. You kind of get the gist. So, just for fun, let's go ahead and move on to tomorrow. It's now October. Another day has passed. Take a look at our info screen. Our value is now $317. Fitness is now at 50%. Health is at 17%. Cleanliness is down to 90%. Water is down a little bit. Base food is down a little bit. Again, if I brought over oats, we could bring our base food percent up a wee bit as we topped it off with just under 300 liters worth of food. If we continue to ride Joran, his health will continue to increase. His fitness will continue to increase. His value will continue to increase. But quite honestly, that is horses. in FS22, as best I can tell. Like I said, I tried this out in a test save over a year. The horse that I rode, their value slowly increased. Their health got to 100%. Their fitness was stable at 100%. Their daily riding was always at 100% at the end of the day. And at no point in time did I ever see that reproduction percent start to increase. Where it says reproduction 10 months, I know that that means that the incubation period, if you will, for the foal would be 10 months in duration. So every day after a horse became pregnant or ready for reproduction, every day that percent should go up by 10 because it's 10 months. 10, 20, 30, 1, 2, 3. But at no point in time did that reproduction percentage increase. That's 13 months out. Maybe if I would have continued 15 months, 2 years, maybe at some point that reproduction chart would go up. At that point, if you start to have reproduction on your horses, then you would be able to ride those horses, get them some value, and then really be able to pull in some money with horses. As it is right now, as best I can tell, horses do not seem to be the moneymaker that they used to be. Horses just seem to be a thing that will raise in value, but really not pump out any sort of mega profits. So guys, I hope that has answered some questions you might have specific related to horses here in Farming Simulator 22. If you've been messing with horses and you found that I have grossly overstated something or completely forgotten something, go ahead and put it down in the comments below. It is no big surprise that that might be a possibility, because I'm trying to understand these animals as quickly as possible, and at some point in time, I will miss something. If you liked the video, go ahead and throw a like and subscribe while you're at it, because we will be putting out plenty of Farming Simulator 22 how-to content in the near future, and we will be continuing to offer Farm Sim 22 live streams, and we'll soon be rolling into pre-recorded videos, new and noteworthy mod reviews as they happen, and of course, our signature map reviews that will start coming out once mod maps are a thing. So until next time, happy farming.